Very good morning, everyone. Namaskar. And before I tell you what today's session is about, I want to ask you something. I don't need to answer out loud, just answer inside. But do think of the last time you had a thought worth sharing. Maybe in a family WhatsApp group or in a meeting, at the dinner table, but you chose to stay quiet. Not because you had nothing to say, but because some little voice inside whispered, अरे रहने दो, जरूरत नहीं है, लोग क्या सोचेंगे, चुप रहना ही ठीक है. ना? Now, if a scene like that just flashed in your mind, you're not alone. In fact, almost everyone in this room is carrying at least one such moment, quietly tucked away. And today we are going to open that drawer together. So today's session is called Speaking Up Without Fear. So let's begin with this opening thought. Your voice loses power every time fear convinces you to hide it. So let me say that again. Your voice loses power every time fear convinces you to hide it. See, not your voice loses volume, it loses power. Every unspoken opinion, every swallowed that actually I think, then every nodded agreement you didn't really mean, each one quietly switches off a little bit of your own light. Just imagine a beautiful musical instrument, a sitar, a harmonium, a tabla, carefully locked inside a cupboard, polished, cared for, admired occasionally when the cupboard is opened for cleaning, but nobody ever hears its music. Is it any less of an instrument? No. It is simply unheard, and an unheard instrument might as well be silent. Your ideas, your opinions, your no, your I disagree, your can I say something, they're exactly like that instrument. Beautiful, valid, capable, and completely useless to the world as long as they stay locked inside you. So let's be honest about where this fear of speaking up actually comes from. Usually, it is one of the four things. Be present to it, and I would ask you to go into the self reflection zone. So, first is judgment. That is, what will they think of me? So, you're judging your own self. Number two, rejection. What if my idea is turned down? Third, conflict. What if this creates tension? तो बेहतर है कुछ बोलो ही मत. And number four, fear of sounding foolish. Yes. What if I say it wrong and people make fun of me? So let me bring this home with three people you probably already know because they live in every Indian household and every Indian workplace. So let's meet Sunita ji, a homemaker running her household like a well-oiled machine for 25 years. And when the family sits down to plan her son's wedding, she has a clear, sensible opinion about the budget. But she stays quiet because in her house, बड़े जो decide करेंगे ठीक है has become a lifelong habit. Her silence isn't peace, it's practiced invisibility. Then Priya, we get to meet every day, a working woman, sharp, capable, 10 years into her career. In a client meeting, she spots a flaw in the plan everyone else has already nodded along to. Or she almost raises her hand and then stops. What if the senior manager feels I'm showing off? But if I'm wrong in front of everyone, so the meeting moves on without the one insight that could have saved the project. And then Rajesh, a husband, a father out of chai with his old friends, inside he's worried about EMIs, about a job that feels shaky. But when someone asks, "Sab theek hai na?" he laughs it off with, "Oh, bilkul theek hai bhai." Because for many men, sounding uncertain feels like sounding weak. So he carries the weight alone, smiling the whole time. So Sunita, Priya, Rajesh, three different lives, one shared habit, choosing silence over self expression and calling it adjustment, professionalism, or strength. So now, here is something important I want every one of you to remember. Speaking confidently does not mean speaking aggressively. Confidence is not volume, it is clarity. So, real confident communications looks like this. First, clear words. Say exactly what you mean without over explaining or apologizing for having an opinion. Number two, calm tone. You don't need to raise your voice for it to carry weight. And I'm sure, thanks to graphotherapy, all of us are learning that. Then, direct communication. Say the actual thing, not a diluted, safer version of it. And four, respectful disagreement. You can say, "I see it differently," without disrespecting anyone, including yourself. So Sunita didn't need to argue to share her budget opinion. Priya didn't need to interrupt anyone to flag the flaw. And Rajesh didn't need to make a scene to say, "Actually, thoda tension hai." All three simply needed one thing: permission from themselves to speak calmly and clearly. So now let's do our reflection. Yes, our practice for today. Simple, but not easy. What I want to say is choose one conversation today in which you would normally stay quiet. Now, it could be with your spouse, your child, your colleague, your neighbor, even the vendor at your door. Now, in that one conversation, share one genuine opinion or ask one honest question, the one you would usually swallow. That's it. One conversation, one honest sentence, and notice how it feels before you speak and after. So, a voice used gently but honestly will always travel further than a voice that stayed locked away out of fear. The instrument in the cupboard was never broken. It was only ever waiting to be opened. And so are you. So today, just once, open the cupboard, say the sentence you would normally hold back, not loudly, not aggressively, just honestly, because the world doesn't need your silence, it needs your voice. So, with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.